Imagine arriving at work tomorrow morning and discovering your company's newest executive isn't human. It doesn't sleep. It never gets tired. It doesn't have an ego. It doesn't care about office politics. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't hesitate. It simply evaluates millions of possibilities before making a decision. It sounds like science fiction, but here's the unsettling part. The future we're imagining. What if AI never replaces your CEO because it replaces the CEO's decisions instead? When people imagine a CEO, they picture speeches, shareholder meetings, and public appearances. But none of those define leadership. A CEO's real job is making decisions, thousands of them, every single year. Should the company hire or freeze recruitment, invest or cut spending, expand internationally or protect cash? Should they launch a new product or cancel the project entirely? These questions don't have easy answers, and the wrong choice can cost thousands of jobs, billions of dollars, and years of progress. Most people never see these decisions. They only see the consequences, because companies aren't built on buildings. They're built on choices, and every one of those choices contains uncertainty. For decades, human judgment has been considered irreplaceable, until now. Here's the surprising truth. Artificial intelligence isn't waiting to manage companies. In many ways, it already does. Every second, algorithms decide which advertisement you see, which package leaves a warehouse first, which financial transaction looks suspicious, how much an airline ticket costs. None of these decisions are random, and very few are made manually anymore, because modern companies discovered something remarkable. Not every decision requires creativity. Many simply require optimization, speed, consistency, and probability. And machines never get tired of making them. They don't have bad days. They don't second-guess themselves. That's exactly where artificial intelligence excels. And once a company trusts AI with one decision, it's surprisingly easy to trust it with another. Think about how decisions are made inside large organizations. Very few executives calculate everything themselves. They rely on reports, analysts, consultants, forecasts, and dashboards. Artificial intelligence changes one critical step. Instead of simply providing information, it increasingly provides recommendations. Not just what happened, but what should we do next? And that shift is more powerful than most people realize. It moves quietly, without announcements, without headlines. Behind every approved budget, behind every hiring freeze, behind every market expansion, the machine was already there, whispering its conclusion. And perhaps that's the most important shift of all, because recommendations shape decisions. And decisions shape companies. The moment people begin trusting recommendations more than their own intuition, authority quietly begins to move. Not through revolution, not through replacement, but through convenience. Here's what makes this transformation so difficult to notice. There isn't one moment when a company suddenly announces, AI is now making our decisions. Instead, the process happens gradually. One department adopts predictive software, another automates scheduling, marketing trusts algorithmic optimization, finance relies on AI risk analysis, human resources begins filtering candidates automatically, operations allow software to optimize logistics, and slowly, without anyone planning it, the entire organization begins to shift. No single person made that choice. No board voted on it. Each decision seems reasonable. Each saves time. Each improves efficiency. Individually, none of them feels revolutionary. Together, they quietly redefine how companies operate, because every decision delegated to software is one less decision requiring human judgment. Here's the paradox. Executives still hold the authority. They still sign the contracts, approve acquisitions, announce layoffs, present earnings. Legally, they remain responsible. But increasingly, the information shaping those decisions comes from artificial intelligence. Imagine receiving 2 strategic reports, one written by analysts over several weeks, another generated instantly, using millions of data points, updated every minute. Which one would you trust? Most executives wouldn't ignore either. But over time, one becomes the starting point for every conversation. The human voice gets quieter, the machine grows louder, and the gap between the two keeps widening. Every meeting, every quarter, every year. Eventually, people stop asking, "What do you think?" and begin asking, "What does the model recommend?" That single change may redefine leadership itself. People often imagine the future as a dramatic event. A headline, a breakthrough, a machine replacing a CEO overnight. History suggests something much quieter. The first AI CEO may never exist, because companies don't need to replace the chief executive. They only need to automate enough decisions that leadership itself begins to change. The title remains human. The judgment becomes increasingly computational. One recommendation, one approval, one optimized workflow at a time. And with each passing day, the line between human leadership and machine guidance grows harder to see. Until eventually, even the people inside the organization can't tell the difference. And perhaps that's how every major transformation begins. Not with revolution, but with convenience. Imagine a company decides to close one of its factories. 10,000 people lose their jobs. The decision followed months of financial analysis, market forecasts, operational costs, demand projections, and an AI system recommended exactly the same conclusion. So here's the question. Who made the decision? The executive who signed the document? The board that approved it? Or the algorithm that concluded it was the most efficient option? Legally, the answer is simple. Morally, it becomes far more complicated, because responsibility has always belonged to people, not software, not algorithms, not mathematical models. People. And yet, the more organizations rely on AI recommendations, the harder it becomes to separate human judgment from machine influence. And that gap will only grow wider, until one day, the question of accountability may have no clear answer at all. And when that moment arrives, society itself will be forced to decide what justice looks like in an age of intelligent machines. The companies of tomorrow will almost certainly look very different from those of today, not because humans disappear, but because the nature of management evolves. Routine decisions, inventory, scheduling, pricing, forecasting, resource allocation. These are increasingly becoming computational problems. Humans may spend less time deciding and more time defining objectives, less time calculating, more time asking the right questions, and perhaps more time questioning the answers machines give them. Because not every answer a machine gives is the right one, and knowing the difference will require a very human kind of wisdom. Ironically, the more intelligent our tools become, the more valuable human judgment may become, not because humans process more information, but because humans remain responsible for deciding what success actually means. An algorithm can maximize efficiency, but only people can decide whether efficiency should always come first. Perhaps we've been asking the wrong question all along. Not will AI replace managers, but how much decision-making are we willing to delegate? Because every delegation changes an organization. Every recommendation influences a choice. Every automated workflow quietly shifts authority. And those changes rarely happen all at once. They happen meeting after meeting, report after report, recommendation after recommendation, until one day, people no longer remember where the decision truly began. History won't remember the first company that used AI to help make decisions, just as it doesn't remember the first company to use spreadsheets, or email, or the internet. What history remembers is the moment an invisible tool quietly became indispensable. And we may already be living in that moment. The question is whether we are paying close enough attention to notice. The tools are already here. The shift is already happening. And most of us are simply too busy approving recommendations to look up and ask who is really in charge. Perhaps artificial intelligence will follow the same path, not replacing leadership, redefining it. So here's the question. If an AI system consistently makes better business decisions than humans, should companies trust it more? Or should some decisions always remain human? The biggest technological revolutions rarely begin with a single invention. They begin the moment we quietly change who or what we trust to make decisions.